Aspires in Magic, Chapter 47. You know where this is going. Homecoming, Part 5. You're not missing a lot of the opening bit. It's just Sleep Bell reminding us all what a godsend Peter Parker is. And Trixie admiring Peter from afar and getting used to it because Peter did, I don't know, reminded Sleep Bell of how good of a singer she is. You know, again, if you really, really wanted us to enjoy that part, one, put that in the beginning, and two, stop delaying the inevitable and not give us a freaking time limit. Gods, if you wanted to give all this interaction that bad, no time limit. And if you wanted us to have this interaction, put it at the beginning. Because now it's too little, too late. 29 days till the portal closes. Peter rose from the couch with a blank stare, using a hand to block the room's bright light from his line of sight, waiting for his vision to clear. As the room stopped spinning, he felt something warm over his shoulder. However, Peter received a contrasting follow-up when Twilight draped a cold cloth over his forehead. The young man shivered involuntarily. At least his senses were astute. Peter's eyes shifted about while his mind struggled to recollect what had transpired. He remembered talking with Tony about something. Peter seemed to recall being paid $300 million for a few gems. Scoffing, the young man shook his head and rolled his eyes. Oh my god, the Fix becomes self-aware and how unbelievable that was! It was another crazy dream, but he sighed. Grateful he didn't have the nightmare where Green Goblin was his jailmate again.
Finally awake, sweetie?
An older woman's voice asked from behind. Peter lazily turned, his eyes shooting open with the sight of his aunt. He shifted his head, scanning his surroundings. It was quite clear they were still within the walls of Sanctum Sanctorum, prompting Peter to force himself into a spinning position. Aunt May shared a smile with Twilight before taking a spot on the couch. Placing a hand on his thighs, he grinned.
You've been out cold for a few hours, boy. You didn't think you would ever wake up. But I can understand why you reacted so strongly.
Peter arched an eyebrow. How did you get here, Aunt May? This place is kind of a secret. Oh yeah, I know how much of a secret it is. I literally slid by it on my Spider-Man game a couple of times. Twilight took a seat next to Peter after removing a cloth from his forehead. I brought Miss May here with the help of Dr. Strange. I had time to tell her what happened between you and Mr. Stark. May nodded.
Stephen's allow me to stay here for the duration of your visit. That way, I can spend as much time
as possible. Her smile grew.
I hope you don't mind, Peter.
Peter scratched the back of his head. No, of course not. Just don't go opening any random books. I hate to have to go climb a beanstalk to get you back. Twilight giggled, poking Peter's arm. It took me a minute to compare Equestria's monetary values to Earth's. Now I understand why you faded. 500 million is so much! I had no idea Mr. Stark was that rich. The blood in his head left, but Peter found a way to keep from fainting. Am I the only one who's curious as to how bits translated into money? Using his hand for support. So it really happened? I'm rich? Throwing his hand in the sky over his head, Peter with his lungs. I'm rich! I'm filthy rich! I'm not broke for the first time in my life! He hopped to his feet, pointing his index finger skyward, but reality came crashing down. Peter lowered his shoulders and chuckled half-hourly. That's just my luck. If I only get some cash, and I only have a month to enjoy it. That's the Parker luck, Chuck. Twilight bounced up, patting Peter's shoulder playfully. No sound down. I'm sure there's plenty you could deal with your earnings during your time here. Glancing out to the side, Peter furrowed his brow. A smile formed on his face before he gave Twilight an affirming nod. Yeah, you're right. I'll start now. Walking over to the woman, placing his hand over hers. The least I could do is give half of what I got. Should be more than enough for you, right, Aunt May? May's eyes widened before softening.
Peter.
Making it impossible for the old woman to form words. Smiling, May wrapped her arms around Peter's neck for a warm embrace, and tears fell over her shoulder.
I won't need that much, but it means a lot hearing you say that.
Yeah, it will really help out the feast there. Ow! Mostly part, Peter brushed his thumb over May's cheeks, wiping her tears. Ow!
What did Trixie tell you about referencing the game?
Hey, they're doing it! Mostly part, Peter brushed his thumb over May's cheeks, wiping away her tears. I'll talk to Tony about wiring a few million to your account. At least I know you'll be able to live comfortably for the rest of your days. May, sniffling, kissed the young man over the cheek, and he turned his gaze to Twilight. Speaking of which, where is Stark? He's supposed to escort us to the tower. Frowning, Twilight shook her head. Colonel Fury called him and said there was a mission at something called Mandarin's Palace, I think. It must have been the Masters of Evil again, because Mr. Stark took off in a hurry, but he told me to give you something before he left. Reaching to her pocket, Twilight retrieved a small earpiece before offering to Peter, shrugging out the word. I don't know what it is, but Mr. Stark was very specific. He wants you to put it on the moment we make it to Stark Tower. It's so that way he could change your costumes to whatever the player has unlocked. Nope, still not forgiving that the rest of the background is freaking Ultimate Alliance. I don't know how nobody noticed. TV tropes didn't mention this. The reviewers haven't mentioned this. Nobody has mentioned that a lot of this story has been copied from Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Yeah, there's a few differences. 1, Norman Osborn has replaced Doctor Doom. 2, I had the strange feeling that there's no Asgard level. And 3, I also had the strange feeling that we're not going to see Hell. I wish we would see Hell. But yeah, it's following the beats. Helicarrier, Stark Tower. Now whenever I play that game, I'm going to imagine that this is happening in the background. And I don't want that to happen because I like this game! Peter nodded, sliding the device into his front coat pocket. Stark's a genius, so it's probably kind of a backup plan. Extending his hand, Peter helped Twilight to her feet, gave the girl a soft kiss on the cheek the moment she was vertical. Since Aunt May's here, how about we have lunch? That way, we can have the rest of the day to ourselves. He winked during the latter portion of the suggestion, earning a Ferrari nod and smile from his lover. Grinning, Peter turned to the older woman. Please tell me you're ready, Aunt May. I'm starving. Twilight shook her head, dismayed. You're always hungry. May laughed.
That's a good thing I took your advice. I cooked everything this morning. Twilight and Steven were nice enough to help me bring everything here. I even got to meet Spike while you were sleeping.
She placed her hand over her mouth to suppress a giggle.
You may not like to admit it, but Spike is like Bonnie. So sweet.
Peter struck his hip forehead with a smack. Don't compare them, Aunt May. I'm with Peter on this. He got all his arms. Spike's more butts. While Barney, he's a bit. Ow! So he glared at him, holding the point of her elbow to his arm. Peter rolled his eyes. What? I was going to say he's more annoying. The dragon stepped into the room, hearing his name several times. But he belched, sighing contentedly as he offered May an empty picnic basket. That was great, Aunt May. I really appreciate it. Spike lowered his head near Peter and brought his collar to his mouth. You're awesome, Peter. Why does he keep calling me Barney? Shaking his head, Peter placed his hands on his hips and groaned. You don't want to know. I still have nightmares from my childhood about that guy. Twilight skidded over to Spike with the basket raised high over her head, gritting her teeth. Spike, please tell me you didn't eat everything on your own. This was meant for all of us, not just you. Peter scratched the back of his head. You ate everything in the picnic basket? The razor isn't going to like this, Yogi. Twilight saw him glare as her fingers clenched at the woven holder. She wanted to throw it to the greatest of her ability, right for Peter's big, stupid head, but she resisted the urge, choosing to surrender the basket to May with a discounted sigh. Peter shrugged his shoulders. I guess this cancels lunch. May nodded, patting Spike over the nose.
It's not his fault. I offered him some food. I didn't tell him that was all I brought. It'll be quite all right.
The woman grinned.
Steven has plenty, and he's given full rights to the kitchen. How about I fix sandwiches for everyone before you two go?
Twilight's smile returned, as if her irritation evaporated. Thank you, Miss May. Peter chuckled. It's amazing how swift Twilight could change from a no-nonsense drill sergeant to a happy-go-lucky schoolgirl. Women had this ability on Earth and Equestria, it seemed. Twilight leaned closer to Peter, smiled wide, even as he took her in his arms and fell into a seat. She stared into her lover's eyes, blushing. One of Twilight's hands fell over Peter's chest, while the other wrapped around his shoulder, all the while holding his heroic mask. I can't wait to see the city. Where are we going first? A quick smirk formed on the young man's face, despite the crimson stain that formed on his cheeks. Peter tugged at Twilight's skirt and winked. Well, here's for Stark Tower first. There's something I need to pick up. Across the room, Spike gagged to herself. Please go already! You two are making me sick! Spike surprisingly speaks for me in this. Peter walked hand in hand with Twilight through the front door of Stark Tower. Glanced at the high-caliber interior decorations for exhaling. Man, it's amazing what someone could do with a few $1 billion. Twilight placed her free hand over her mouth to conceal a gas, mind struggling to take in all the scientific possibilities at once. I wish I had a chance to explore this portion of the tower yesterday. Giggling uncontrollably, Twilight pulled her hand from Peter, proceeded to bounce in place. Come on, Peter! Put on your earpiece so we can get started already! She whined, oblivious to the stares of those surrounding her. Peter only smiled as he retrieved the earpiece from his pocket. You are so cute. The device was placed properly into his ear. The young man stood still, glancing about as he waited for something to occur. He held his lips in a pout, disappointed with the lack of an outcome. What's this thing supposed to do, anyway? It allows you to communicate with me. Good evening, Mr. Parker. It's been quite some time. A male's voice calmly called out, I am Jarvis. We've been acquainted before. His eyes widened. Peter snapped his fingers. Oh yeah, Jarvis! You're the highly sophisticated artificial intelligence that Tony talks to all the time. Indeed. Now you may retrieve the second earpiece from your front desk for your girlfriend. I will be trained to retrieve your valuables. I told you yourself. Why are you talking to yourself? You know, I gotta ask you in the audience. Do any of you remember back when Peter used to be, when Jarvis was, a human butler? Anybody? Does anybody here remember that? Because I think after about 10 years, I think almost everybody's forgotten that Jarvis was human. Peter walked over to the desk and retrieved the device before turning to Twilight. This young man placed a face in her ear. He murmured, Not talking to myself this time, hun. But I'd like you to meet Jarvis. Hello, Miss Twilight. Mr. Stark has informed me of your origin and relationship with Mr. Parker. Should you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. Taking it back, Twilight brought her hand over her ear and peeked. Oh, thank you. Her brow furrowed. Development filled her eyes. Her confusion dissipated, allowing amazement to take its place. Artificial intelligence? Wow, I didn't think it was possible for anyone to communicate with artificial intelligence. You sound just as sentient as anyone I've ever met. You flatter me, Miss Twilight. I have Mr. Stark's engineering to thank for my existence. As per your request, Mr. Parker, a compartment opened at the top of the desk, and the device rose from a puff of smoke. Its white exterior was sleek and polished. Just manufactured. Purple star, modeled after Twilight's cutie mark, was engraved on top. Peter took the device in hand and offered it to Twilight. She hesitantly accepted the device, furrowing her brow at the intricate design, and ran her finger over the peculiar sight. Black spiral insignia that rested in the center of the purple star. Mr. Stark had this custom laptop made for you. Its battery life relies heavily on solar energy. Peter raised a figure. Shouldn't be a problem since we have a sun goddess in Equestria. And I have been installed with it to provide you with any information you need in regards to Earth. It will also act as a storage data for you to print should you need it. Mr. Parker informed us last night you were a librarian and asked us to give you a laptop. This will prove useful for any future research you wish to acquire. Peter placed his fingers over Twilight's ear and gently removed the earpiece. While closing in the port, sliding in with the back of the laptop. I saw how much you liked the laptop at Dr. Strange's. I thought it'd be cool if I found a way to get one to take home. The keyboard is made for humans, but I don't know if I could get around that using your magic. If you don't feel like typing, just ask Jarvis. He'll do the work for you. He scratched the back of his head sheepishly and glanced off to the side. Do you like it? Peter was barely able to say it before Twilight dove into his arms and proceeded to kiss him profusely. Every kiss lasted several seconds, growing in passion with each one given. Twilight muttered countless phrases of gratitude between each kiss, her grip on his tightened by the second. She would occasionally pause to eye her gift, only to immediately resume her smothering kisses. Not that Peter minded. Twilight was too far gone, excited like a child on Christmas morning. She squealed before burying her face in the young man's chest. I love you so much, I love you so much, I love you so much! Twilight cried. Tears of joy poured from her eyes and down to Peter's shirt, not giving the young man time to react. She pressed her lips into his once more, before taking her new toy, sitting behind the desk to analyze it thoroughly. One hand pecked away at the keyboard, while the other wiped away her tear-stained cheeks. This means so much. Thank you! She choked, nearly sobbing. Mentally, Twilight settled her nerves and closed her laptop. Sewing gently a custom-made bag left by Jarvis before slipping the strap around her shoulders. She wrapped her arms around one of Peter's and purred contentedly, I love you. It should have been impossible for Pierre's smile to grow any wilder. Twilight's warmth added to her happiness. She may have become a princess recently, but Twilight was still a librarian, a girl longing to expand her knowledge of the world. By her standards, a laptop was nothing new, but for a girl who lived in a technology-inferior world like Equestria, it spoke volumes. Twilight was a simple mare at heart, despite her quirkiness. The fact that Pierre thought this much about her was too much to take in clearly got her a digital portable library. Twilight loved Pierre. It was all but obvious. She wanted to express herself, wanted to show how much this meant for the bottom of her heart. Sadly, it would have to wait. There were too many spectators around at the moment, but Twilight smiled inwardly, content with the situation. Gave her time to prepare. Standing on her tippy toes, Twilight raised her hand to shield her mouth as she whispered deep into Pierre's ear. She went into vivid detail, giggling as Pierre's face flushed to a shade of crimson. Voice was deep and seductive. I take it, Miss Twilight, and I forget. Pierre chuckled, barely able to withstand his elevated body temperature. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Pierre's stomach growled as his eyes scrolled through the menu in his hands. You know what's weird, Twilight? We've been dating for a while now. I can easily say I love you more than anybody in this world or Equestria. Grant, placing the menu down, taking a hold of Twilight's hand from his table. How is it that we're just now going on our first official date? Because this fanfic doesn't know how romance works? Twilight's eyes widened as he freed her gaze from the menu. So much has happened, don't forget. You were in the hospital when we first started our relationship. Her eyes softened as her lips curled to a sweet smile. She squeezed her hand, sighing afterward. Guess we haven't had that much time. You came out of the hospital, then Discord appeared. Not too long after that, you were called away to help Keenan's inside armor contain Sombra. Then I became a princess. She stopped biting her lip. I'm sorry, it's my fault. I'm still learning how love and relationships work. I'm a horrible girlfriend. No, you're not, Pierre countered, earnestly and honestly. There was no humor in his voice, and Twilight appreciated that, evident by her loving smile. Pierre brought the girl's hand to his mouth before giving it a gentle kiss. This relationship has been perfect for me. Besides, I'm just as much to blame. Twilight raised her brow at the latter portion of the young man's statement. Pierre felt his face grow hot. Even now, she was the most beautiful creature in existence. He chuckled. Come on, you said it. Prioritization and organization has never been my strong points. You're the number one priority in my life. So I have to take my best to make sure you're happy. Dying, Twilight giggled. I'm very happy. Her cheeks boomed. I promise I'll make it up to you over the week. The couple stared a smile before Twilight returned her gaze to the menu, waiting for the girl to frown her brow at the choices. There's certainly a decent selection, but I'm not too fond of trying meat. Doesn't help that half the choices are meats. Are humans just carnivorous? Pierce shook his head. Not necessarily. Humans have a very diverse metabolism. While a human can eat only meat, it wouldn't be nutritious for their body. He put his finger over Twilight's menu, tracing over the pictures in the side section. That's why we're encouraged to have a balanced diet. Some meats, veggies, and fruits and dairies can go a long way. Pierre leaned back in his chair and folded his arms. So what will you get? I brought a finger over her mouth. I don't mean to be picky, but I can't just bring myself to eat a meat that's not fish. That would seem... She trailed off, stuttering. Wrong. Grinning, Pierre nodded. Trust me, I understand. How about we get a pizza then? His eyes widened, the image on the menu. Oh, let's get a cheesecake too. With strawberry topping, we can actually afford for once. Smitty, Twilight stuck her tongue out towards her nose. There's enough cheese on that pizza. I don't think we need a cheese in the cake too. Her mind struggled to register the idea of such an absurd dish. She could only shake her head disapprovingly. Strawberry with cheese? Ew. Hey! You're telling me that Pinky never made a cheesecake? That's pretty weak! Pierre snickered involuntarily, finding the earth to laugh uncontrollably. It's not that kind of cheese. I promise you'll like it. It's a rich dessert cake made with cream and soft cheese on a graham cracker, topped with strawberry sauce. It's the ultimate treat. Twilight hesitantly nodded, disgusting, her face still apparent. Waitress approached the couple and took their order. After she took their menus and delivered their beverages, the woman left. Pierre stared at Twilight for the duration, smiling as she stole glances at the bag holding her laptop. It wasn't much, but he felt relieved highly having the opportunity to take the love of his life out on a date, even if it was to an Italian restaurant. Not that there was a problem with that. Pierre bit his lip and shook his head. This was still a date. The least he could do was act like it. So, has the date been okay for you so far? You enjoying yourself? Twilight's eyes shot open. She wasn't expecting the question. She managed to smile, filling Pierre with a sense of warmth. It's been fun so far. There's so much more I want to see, but I know we can't cover everything in a single day. Yeah, world's a big place. But I have the money to show you a good time. This is why I want to take you to the beach tomorrow. The Bahamas, to be exact. Pierre stayed, earning a stunning expression from the girl. He tapped his finger against the side of his head, smirking. We talked with Jarvis before we left Stark Teller. They'll have a private jet ready for us in the morning. We'll have our own private suite, and then everything we can make to our destination. There's enough room for on the jet for Spike, too. I'm so glad, Peter, that you're planning this little vacation and planning on having a party and having just some fun. Oh, and while you're at it, how about you go over to England and check out the Big Ben? And oh, by the way, if you so kindly could please remember we're in the middle of a bloody battle here. I mean, it's not much. It's just that it's the fate of the world happening. You know how it goes. Everybody's dying. There's a potential for the world to end. But yeah, you go on ahead. You have fun with your little vacation, Pierre. We'll just go over here and suffer agonizing defeat! Flustered, Twilight pressed the strand of her violet locks behind her ear. But the beats? Why? She was silent. That's what I wanted to know! Before she began to smile. Of course the experience would be nice. I've never gone to a beach before. Where does this idea come from? Pierre's blush was visible at this point. I sort of realized I never saw you in a swimsuit or bikini. I thought about it further and realized I never had time to go to a beach. This would be my only chance to see both possibilities come through. Shaking her head, Twilight placed her fingers over her eyes and moaned, You're so single-minded sometimes. You haven't said no. Pierre grinned, causing the girl to roll her eyes. Fine, allow me. No! She reached down, flicked his nose, giggling. Fine, I'll go. I need to buy myself a swimsuit when we're finished eating. Laying some to the side, Pierre nodded. Well, there's a Victoria's Secret nearby. You can go there. It's a clothing store for women. Really? Twilight murmured, cupping her chin in her hand. She sort of a plethora of ideas running through her mind. After a few moments, the girl giggled and clapped her hands together. Good! There's a few specific things I need to get, and you'll come with me. Pierre grinned. It wasn't a request. He knew her tone. This was a subtle demand. Eat at a woman's clothing store? I don't think that's a good idea. Brow lowered, lips pucked out. Well, we're going. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Resting his elbow on the table, Pierre priced his chin on his hand and groaned. Fine, you sawed-off little twerp. Twilight's smile remained firm, while Pierre sat dismayed. Why do I have to come anyway? Because I want to thank you for the laptop, Twilight whispered, earning an arched eyebrow from the young man. A low growl escaped from the girl's stomach. Her face flushed pink. Just returned with 2 dishes, one holding a pizza decorated with olive toppings, and the other a dessert smothered in strawberry sauce. As Pierre handed the woman his debit card, Twilight pressed her hands over her skirt, removing any wrinkles present. Her stomach growled once more, forcing Twilight to wave off Pierre's cheeky grin. We'll talk about it later. Let's eat! Pierre raised his hand. Hang on. Using a knife, Pierre slices a cake, removing a piece before putting on a separate plate. Smiling, he heads over to treat Twilight. Try this first. No! You eat the pizza first, you stupid fool! Hesitantly, Twilight took her fork and cut the front piece away. She raised it, hovering it over her mouth. She paused, giving her foreign friend a concerned expression. You sure this is natural cheese? Pierre chuckled. Cream cheese. Totally different. Trust me. Twilight sighed. That was unfair. Of course she trusted him. For all intents and purposes, that was why Twilight chose Pierre to become her personal knight. She knew he would never lead her in the wrong direction. Intentionally. Inhaling deeply, Twilight swallowed her heart and returned Pierre's trust, guiding a piece of cheesecake into her mouth. She slammed her eyes shut, maneuvering the tree about with her tongue as it melted in her mouth. It was cold, much like ice cream, but it was more solid due to the soft crust. Her eyes shot open, the quake sweetness took hold of her senses. It tasted nothing like any cheese she had before. Twilight sighed blissfully, holding a hand over her cheek. She wanted to savor such a taste. With an effort, the girl swallowed her treat, only to immediately take a second bite. The result was the same, the effect just as heavily as the first. Before long, only a few crumbs remained of her slice. Twilight's smile was radiant as the sun. The rest of their meal was just as satisfying. The couple ate in comfortable silence, sharing a laugh ever so often. Why, hello, Mr. Turtle.
Hello.
What are you doing?
I'm moving a story along.
Oh, wow. So, how's the story moving?
Pretty good.
Thank you, Mr. Turtle. See you. Aren't you so glad that we've had Mr. Turtle to follow along with the plot? Now, let's see how Mr. Bunny's doing. Boom! Can I follow Mr. Bunny's plot?
No!
Zoe smiled, putting her hand on her stomach. Oh, my stars, that was wonderful. She furrowed her brow for a second. Giggling once Peter brushed her face of food away from her chin. That was good, but I could tell I gained a couple extra pounds. Peter planted his elbow on the table, allowing his chin to rest on his palm. You just ate 5 pounds worth of pizza and cheesecake. Where did the extra 3 pounds go? If it went to your sparkly butt, I won't complain. Ow! Tip of Twilight's foot struck his chin. I would think that was enough to indicate to stop, but Peter was not so bright, humming a tune. Look, big butts, and I cannot lie. Your other brothers cannot deny. Ow! Peter's face turned to crimson to say crimson, as he stood awkwardly among the growing section of women's undergarments. It was his own fault that he was dragged to the store. Twilight wanted to buy a few things for their trip to the Bahamas. Yes, the completely necessary trip! While he didn't mind to some extent, this was still an awkward experience, seeing as Peter was the only male in the store. His gaze was to remain locked on the ground, refusing to glance at the collection of strings and threads that could hardly be considered clothing. Peter brought his hand over his forehead. Several women giggled at his expense. He asked over Twilight, who shuffled through a collection of panties. There were some things even Spider-Man was uncomfortable with. You sure you need me with this? I can wait outside, Peter whispered, groaning once one of the employees glanced in his direction. Twilight placed his pair of silk black panties on a small pile, removing her gaze from the clothing. Yes, I do need you. I'll require your input when I try these on. Peter shrugged helplessly, and Twilight nodded before taking her collection into her arms, handing it over to her boyfriend. This was embarrassing. No man should be forced to hold women's underwear. Says you! But Peter relented, loving Twilight enough to sacrifice his pride. She walked over to the changing room, motioning for the young man to follow with a finger. Peter did as he was told, moaning. Twilight giggled as her boyfriend placed her items in the changing room and took a seat outside, folding his arms and tapping his foot nervously against the floor. Twilight kissed the young man over her cheek before she entered the changing room, removing her attire once her door was shut. I'm not used to seeing you like this, Peter. No stabbing come back today? Easing back in his chair, Peter slammed his eyes shut as the woman strolled by. I'm outside my element, and I didn't have any time to prepare. The last thing I expected to do today was go to a woman's clothing store, let alone with... Peter paused, stammering as Twilight's panties fell over her ankles. Even though the door hid the girl's body, it did not stop Peter from visualizing certain goods. This is a first for me. I'm now curious. What is it you wanted me to see? The door opened, prompting Peter to finally free his gaze from the ground. His face's tilt rose a few stages with the moment his eyes caught a sight. Slender legs snaked its way past the door, seemingly waving at the young man. Twilight stumbled, nearly losing her balance, but she leaned against the door for support, bearing a hesitant smile. Peter watched, slack-jawed as the sensuous body made its way towards him. Twilight's chocolate skin was highlighted by dark violet. Peter tried to shake the wave of successive thoughts from his mind, but failed, his tongue expressed in having to falter at least. Lace garments made Twilight look wildly feminine. The girl watched Peter's eyes closely, but a smile crept onto her face, as his clear sight was locked onto her surprisingly ample bust. She slowly twirled in peace, giggling with each gentle sound of frustration that escaped from her lover. Twilight's hesitant smile was replaced with one of satisfaction. A considerable effort on her part, but she was getting better at earning restrained reactions from Peter. So, do you think this looks good on me? Twilight asked, voice sultry with enjoyment. Peter, unable to think of anything, nodded blankly as he drank in Twilight's warm. Twilight shook her head, smiling, speechless. I'll have to tell Trixie about this. In the dead of night, in Dr. Strange's home, everyone was mostly asleep, but Twilight remained awake, picking away at her laptop. Peter's search engine was impressive, and the World Wide Web answered every question the girl had about Earth thus far. Soft knocks were heard at the door behind it before it opened, feeling Peter in a Spider-Man costume without the mask. Twilight acknowledged her lover's presence with a smile, but her head rose in belated realization. She placed her laptop over the bed, forced herself to her feet, and walked over to Peter, frowning her brow at his choice of attire. Why are you wearing that? Did something happen? Don't tell me Colonel Fury needs you on a mission. She whined, pouring concern over her voice. Twilight planted her foot down, giving Peter a defiant glare. No, you haven't fully healed yet. You can forget. Chuckling, Peter shook his head and handed his mask to the girl. Slow down, Twilight. It's nothing like that. It's just something I want to show you outside. Got a minute? Twilight's eyes widened. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have overreacted. Peter waved his hand off in understanding. The girl returned a smile with one of her own. Taking hold of her hand, the young man led Twilight to the roof of Stephen's home. Rather, it wasn't the outside. Nearly magical lumens seemed to resemble it. The sky was dark, littered with countless mystic orbs. Twilight gently took a seat over a crimson mat to stretch across the floor. Peter did the same, placing his head over his lover's lap. She gave no attention, smiling as her finger traveled through Pierre's unkempt hair. Well, here, Pierre, what do you want to show me? Pierre bit his lip. I'll show you in a second. There's something I need to get off my chest. He turned his gaze over and centered on Twilight. Pierre found himself lost in the violet ocean that was her eyes. His body nearly melted due to the warm, genuine smile she gave him. Really, the world was nothing compared to Twilight. At least in Pierre's eyes. His face grew hot at the thought, but Pierre was content, chuckling. Today was our first official date. Sounds late coming from me, but this was the best date I ever had. Twilight giggled, pressing her fingers over Pierre's blossoming cheeks.
It's not surprising. If anybody got that much money a day, they would be happy.
It's not the money that made this great. Not entirely. Pierre declared, shaking his head. Twilight stared at the young man with a confused expression, where Pierre took a hold of her hand, kissing it softly. I could care less about the cash. You were so much more to me than Tony Stark's entire fortune. All we really did was talk, shop, and eat. The fact I got to do it with all of you made me so happy. I feel better when I'm around you. Whether we're doing something important or just wasting time, as long as we're together, I'm happy. The inside of her chest tightened, struggling to contain her slowing heart. Twilight threw her hand over her mouth to choke back a sob. Through simple, honest words, Pierre reached through and touched her very core. She wanted to cry. It was unusual, and there was an immense warm and fuzzy feeling dwelling in her body. Despite the happiness, Twilight really wanted to cry. Tears fell from her eyes, but she managed to keep her emotions in check. She prepared to retort to the best of her ability. Pierre extended his hands and fired strands of webbing above the position. Each strand was shot with accuracy, forming a web near a sparkling light. Pierre ceased his actions after a few seconds, turning to give his lover a smile. Baffled, Twilight brought her attention to the webbing form, and her mouth fell agape at the bewildering sight. There was a message created at the center of the gossamer. It was simple, but to Twilight, her eyes filled with tears meant so much more, if not everything. The light behind the webbing gave the words life. I love you, it read, leaving Twilight to sob, embracing Pierre in the firelight that night. The day was special, that was most concerned, but the joy that was brought by their staring enjoyment of each other's company, placing his hand on the back of her, Peter Potter were pulled into her triangular room and passing the kiss, he remained like different the race of the night, savoring the love that still Kimberly Force. Even then, he did say, I love Peter, and Twilight hunting Sarah, nothing would change either on the force. Peter, deep into the kiss of me, and please one for his efforts, and Twilight sent him back, holding her arms around his neck and giving her hot orders and fences. It may have been homecoming for Batman, but as far as Peter was concerned, he didn't care what his life, as long as Twilight was there, he always be home. There, sorted it for you.